Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this, your Scorpio July 2023 reading and forecast high. I'm Nigel Saint James, clairvoyant, and I've done a number of one-on-one clairvoyant readings for Scorpios from different parts of the world in the course of the last month. And if you'd like to see what's involved in that, check out the information that's in the description box below. Now, what I've also done is a number of healings for Scorpios, and information about that is in the description box below as well, if you're interested. Healings are free, readings are not. Now, what I can also tell you, and well, more particularly the subscribers can tell us, and it's great to see the subscribers here, that there are no video advertisements in this production. This video are there, so you get to enjoy the content uninterrupted by video advertisement intrusions. And what you also know is that we just take 5 cards. Now, this is a sort of a vampire deck. Normally I wouldn't be interested in a vampire deck. Well, it's got a lot of vampires and vampire ladies in it. But the art is really very romantic, I think. And of course, I'm a sucker for romance, and so the images here, the vampires and the lady vampires, just speak to me. Now, what that says about me, if vampires or lady vampires are talking to me, I don't know. But I can tell you that I think you will find the imagery on here quite compelling and interesting, sort of deep, kind of dark in a way, sort of subterranean and sexual perhaps as well, who knows. Now, what we're going to do is take the 5 cards. 5 is all we need, as the subscribers know, because they speak so much to us. They don't do just 5 seconds per card, they tell us a lot. There is the 8 of Skulls. This is the Daughter of Knives. This is the Lord of Skulls on his black horse there. There is the 7 of Grails, and here, finally for you, the Daughter of Skulls. So, 2 daughters in the right-hand column. Interesting. I wonder how they interact with the other cards. We'll find out in just a moment now, because you're going to come down here, sit down here next to me. You and I will have We'll just check out and luxuriate in the imagery on these cards together while I do your reading for you. There's a sense here that you are going through some sort of emotional angst. What did they say? Why did they say that? What does it mean? What are they doing? What's going to come from it? And things like that. An emotional deflatedness which might make you feel lethargic, even quite depressed. However, time is going to sort things out, and you are going to come to a happy resolution of things, and you're going to be very smart about how you go things, and then there's tremendous success for you. But this moment here, let's look at it, because I'm drawn to this, actually. I see a lot of Venus in this card. And what is it here? Well, here we have the snake-haired siren, and she's gathered the blood of her victims in her bowl of desire. Now this potent fluid swirls hypnotically, revealing fantastic and intoxicating visions of bizarre hallucinations. Now this is a symbol, I think, of the intense creative wellspring of your unconscious or your subconscious that is enticing and mesmerizing you with its images and its messages. Now, this spring can be a source of inspiration for your creative expression if you take it the right way, and as well as a tantalizing peek into the world of shadows. Now, this realm of shadows is illustrated, I guess, by this entry here into the underworld, which is behind her. Its ghostly green light both entices and repels you, and the whole picture exudes a heavy atmosphere of intoxication and seduction, but I think also of delusion. Now, why might there be some delusion around things that are going on here? Because this is astrologically Venus ruling the third decan of Scorpio, the 13th to the 22nd of November. And in the numerology of the card, with the number 7, I have the planet of Venus as well. Now, Venus, of course, is the planet of love and relationship and happiness. And you know, Scorpio, well, it's about intensity, in-depth transformation, and exploration of yourself and of other people. But Venus doesn't have any handbrake applied here, because it's a Venus in the numerology and a Venus in the astrology. And the thing is that Venus is in detriment in Scorpio, and it can't, therefore, fully express its sensitivity and emotions properly, and things can become clouded, and things can seem to be real when in fact they are not real. And this repression of Venus here can be channeled into negative addictions and intensity, which you have to admit is your darker side. And it can imply that you can indulge in reactive behavior. Now, the fact that the Venus is here, well, I see that this is representing the working of Venus in the sphere of your mind, where her influence is by no means clear-sightedness. You believe what you want to believe when you are under the influence of Venus. Yes, it's as if there is an angst that is seeping into your very soul itself. Well, the secret to this energy is deep soul work, bringing balance to your inner and outer values. Become aware of your conditioning patterns, that's your subconscious, that lead you into this present state of mind. Get in touch with your higher self and reevaluate your values and beliefs, and discover your soul purpose, and release any unsupportive beliefs and patterns, and integrate your soul self into the material world, and align with the universal law of perpetual transmutation of energy. You do have the ability to change the conditions in your life by uniting with the higher vibrations of the light. There are many directions and choices for you that can distract your path, your true purpose, and they can lead you off course. And this detour steers you into unrealistic dreams and hopes sometimes, or the focus on false abundance, such as material possessions, seeing that they are the source of happiness. Well, of course they're not. They break, they go away. Now, this might be a time where you have an overactive imagination of about what people have said or done, and have some sort of illusory visitors, I'll call them, and fantasies or untrue thoughts that never become a reality. Now, this experience can bring delusion, confusion, indecision, and procrastination, and a chance of falling into deep sadness or false happiness, alienating you from spirit and your truth, and stealing your self-worth and inner power. Now, the lesson of this energy here, I think, is to remember your purpose in life. It focuses on tension between the higher self and your ego, you know, that character that you have built up of yourself, struggling with the polarities between spirit and matter. Now, in some sense, this energy here does reveal a sense of escapism or an emotional overload. But choices and life, and choices in your life, they might seem overwhelming. Maybe your heart is unhappy, seeking reconnection with the spirit, yearning to rejoin with the oneness that has been forgotten or ignored. Well, I think that this does need some deep soul work, as I say, and it asks you, are you choosing from wisdom and love, or are delusionary ideas of fulfillment guiding you, and aligning yourself with the light of the divine?
And that can even just come about by walking in nature, It doesn't need something fantastic like meditation or prayer or dream work or journaling. You will gain an appreciation for the small joys of life, and they will align with your true soul purpose. Now, know yourself and love yourself from deep within. The attainment of your life's purpose unfolds your will, wisdom, and love to follow the true path to spiritual evolvement. But the good news is that you get out of this funk and you do see things for what they are, and you start moving forward and letting time do its work. You see, you have time on your side. You've planted the seeds and they will grow. Now, what we have here is this looks like a necromancer. That is someone who calls up the dead. He has meticulous attention to detail, and that's evident by his precise ritual involving particular chants, I suppose, invocations, gestures. But for that ritual to be a success, all these must be used in harmony and at a perfect pace. The movements must be sure, steady, and measured for his idea to realize. Now, this hourglass that's here is, I suppose, for you, a symbol for patience, while this golden goblet, I suppose, of blood, they are vampires, represents the need for small measures and prudence. Now, from his hand, a spirit is forming, energized by the focused concentration of his thought. You see, this is particularly good for you, and there's a great astrology for you, particularly following from this energy that's here, is because here we have the sun ruling the first decan of Virgo, I think it would be, the 23rd of August to the 2nd of September. Now, in the number 8 here, I have Mercury associated with that. Now, incidentally, with this number 7, I have a mystical before I get onto this, I have a mystical association with an area of divine emanation that we mystics refer to in shorthand as victory. So you do overcome problems. Back to our friend here. Virgo, the sun in Virgo. Well, Mercury, which is in the card, is the ruler of Virgo, and it is also exalted in Virgo. So this is very favorable for you. And here, the sun energizes Virgo's hard work and attention to detail. So there is a flowering of external and internal richness with you now. Wisdom, development, carefulness, and prudence. Now, this energy here, I think, represents a time when you are absorbed in a project, and what that project is something that is known to you. There is a need, I think, to create a private place to explore and work out what you want to do with no outside distractions. I think this also signals a time for deep learning and bringing into yourself new insights, and there's going to be an expansion of your talents. This time brings a birthing of new and innovative things from the integrated worlds of spirits and matter. Do you know, sometimes there is a strength in doing nothing at all. That's an overriding image that I'm getting from this, is that you plant the seed, you water it, and then let the seed do what it needs to do. There is a realization by you that everything is truly connected and every act has an effect on the larger whole. You realize that every project contains potential for spiritual growth, and recognizing what is truthful to the progress of your heart's path. Now, through the course of your life, you have learned, haven't you, not to let expectations of others derail you from your goals or hold you back. Now, this 8 brings a highly creative time. The numerology of the number 8 also speaks to me very much of power and decision and balance. You now are in sync with the creative force of the universe. And this is a time when you move away from that momentary self-doubt into self-confidence, productivity, and progress with whatever project or endeavor you have within your hands. It indicates learning, expanding, or even mastering a skill or a way of doing something. And this sometimes offers jobs, I think. And there is a reward here for your work and efforts that you've put in to date. And this reward comes to you. You should also realize, of course, that you are the creator of your life. That is your truth. And you are flowing and following your destiny in the truest form. Now, where might we go next? I think we might have a look at this young woman who's here. She's obviously got something to say to you. You're overcoming that down period. I can just feel it throbbing through me, that energy. Well, this Daughter of Knives, what do we have here? Well, we see her holding a black knife. You see this thing here? She's holding that black knife. And I think that, I think she's used it or used one in a final deadly attack to sever herself from self-criticism. Now she has destroyed the old altar of her fears, beginning with the ritual for true nature and her higher self to be realized in earthly forms. Now she can now be herself, free from entombing thoughts, erratic moods, and disruptive thoughts. Now, I have the very strong feeling that the signs of, it's coming around here, that the signs of Aquarius, Pisces, and Capricorn are going to be important to you during this time. This, at last, is where you come out of the clouds and into clarity, and there is a victory over your moods. There's also something of a rebellion here, this thing. This can mean that you could become a rebellious person who's not to be intimidated either by the established or the religiously, dogmatically expressed. This is somebody here who can be stern and revengeful, and her logic can be destructive. She will be firm and aggressive. Now, of course, these cards can be, the courts can be of either gender, and when I'm describing her, you can take from it things that may well be applying to you here, I think. But she goes about things, I think, with a great practical wisdom and subtlety to do with material things. And she shows, and you will show, great cleverness and flexibility in the management of your practical affairs, especially where there's any arguments involved, because you will be very good at settling arguments here. Now, she is in the suit of knives, air, but as a daughter, she is earth. And so what this means is that you will be able to get things grounded in a very tangible way. Now, it might be that you have found yourself fighting battles internally and externally, but you see, are very successful in overcoming controversies. And this also represents, I think, somebody like you who is following your own course rather than serving another. And in due course, it turns, even though people might think you've gone mad, it turns out that you have chosen right, and ultimately gain is your reward. Now, this could be following the heart, following a lifestyle, maybe becoming a small business person. Now, your thoughts and visions may at times destroy what I would call the holy altars that are set up around you in your life. Well, you are going to break through those. Don't let yourself be buried by the flying debris. Don't allow your moods to take hold of you. Remain true to your real ideals. Now ask yourself this question. What altars are present in your surroundings, in your life? Have the courage to destroy them? Do you have that? So look inside and see if your rebellion is rooted in love, and say to yourself, my rebellion is positive, constructive, and creative. We have left a couple of earth cards. Let's deal with this central one, shall we? This is the central energy of the Lord of Skulls. Now, I think Virgo and Leo are going to be important to you in relation to events captured by this particular energy here. And look, he presents a skull. Do you see this here as a sort of as a trophy, really? And this represents, I think, both the completion of the harvest, so you're getting reward, and his ability to develop the material world for his own needs. The skull can be seen as his own head, which he has detached to use as a sort of a totem to dispel the intellectual or emotional illusions. Now in the background there is a field of wheat that is growing away, and it's ripe for harvest. Now I think what we have here is that because he is the Lord, he is fire, and this is the positive aspect of nature, which he integrates into the process in which the everlasting is manifested here on earth. Now on the level of consciousness, he personifies the vitality of earth energy for you that brings your unconscious spiritual thoughts into your everyday reality. Yeah, there's a lot going on with him, very much a lot of that Virgo energy around you, but we saw a lot of Virgo energy there as well, didn't we? So that's definitely someone who's going to have something to do with you. But I think what he is he's coming to you as a symbol of abundance and prosperity in the physical realm. His success and wealth come from his strong focus and commitment. Now, when you set your mind on a goal, it will happen. He is a strategic thinker and planner with very high standards, as well as an understanding of the universal timing, that law which says that you've got to pick your moment. Now, you will be stable, trustworthy, very wise. You'll have a generous heart and be supportive and open. I think people are going to see you as a strong and confident leader. And he has created, in a sense, a flourishing kingdom surrounded by beauty that is full of opportunity for you now. Now, when he enters, as he has done here in the center, with these other cards around it, it definitely indicates a time of success and prosperity. Maybe there's going to be a small inheritance, or an accomplishment, or a promotion, or some sort of material gain is coming your way. Now, he brings you good health and physical recovery from an illness. And he asks you to listen to your body. Do your diet or personal habits need attention? I think your home environment will become very important. You may have an impulse to create a beautiful, serene, and welcoming home, maybe wanting to remodel things or landscape or plant a garden. It can also represent dealings with the medical profession here, or outside counselors. Yeah. His message to you is to find harmony in all facets of yourself, and then you will find abundance and well-being. And that takes us finally, I think, to, let's have a look, this daughter, also from the same suit of earth. What I'd say here is that she characterizes all that is life-enriching, abundant, perfect, and exquisite. You see, this has been taken away from you now. She is inspired, sensual, and full of the bliss of being alive. She is committed, dependable, and secure, and an expression of the natural, earthy warmth that brings nourishment to all life. Now, inwardly, she represents a natural growth in perfect flow with the everlasting. Now, we see this daughter here below, or above an altar that's here, and we saw the altars before. So she's saying also maybe break down some of those altars, because she just needs to draw up energy from the earth by its roots. Now, because she has appeared sitting underneath that other lady here and touching onto this lord of her suit, she is really the messenger of good news for you. She indicates the beginning of a new opportunity, a new project, a venture, a job, or a solid relationship. She signals work, ideas beginning to take form, opportunities open up for learning and also for earning and financial support. She can symbolize the apprentice or the student which learns about new skills or ideas, and she's bringing to you a very creative time that can expand into new insights on the horizon. Very much a lot of Taurus around here, a lot of Aries, a lot of Gemini energy around it as well, so they're going to be important to you. Now, she can indicate, I think here, I'm getting a feeling of pregnancy. We may hear of a birth, or there's the birth of new projects, or things to do with a child, new ideas, maybe even reinvigorating your identity. And in relationships, she brings a romantic partnership that has matured, or maybe even a proposal. I think she indicates a time to appreciate the environment, and she signals it's a time to quiet yourself, maybe by just being out in nature and listening to your messages. But she does bring you peace, healing, and balance. What a fantastic spread of cards for you. What a great, interesting month it is. Good job, you.
Didn't you find that fascinating? I certainly did. And what a wonderful month it looks like it's going to be for you. That's just fantastic. By the way, if you did like the video, do me the favor of pressing the like button. It's good for the YouTube computer system or something. It allows the channel to be seen by other people like that. It's the only favor that I ask from you. But what I will say is this, though, and that until I see you next time, remember one thing. Well, actually, before I say that, check out the description box for the readings and in particular for the healings. I think you might be interested in the stuff that's there, particularly on my website. Now, until I see you again, remember one thing, and it is this, that you are a legend, and I look forward to seeing you again next month. And until then, it's bye for now.